18 రోజులు గడిపిన భారత వ్యోమగామి శుభాంశు శుక్లా కాసేపట్లో భూమికి చేరుకోనున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు అలా చూద్దాం.
Into the ocean.
Exactly right. You mentioned these beautiful visual confirmations that we're getting. An important aspect of today's specific splashdown is that it's occurring at night.
That's Dragon 800.
Copy, 800 meters.
Commander Peggy Whitson confirming the spacecraft's altitude as it's making its descent into the Pacific Ocean just off the coast of San Diego in Southern California.
Yes, love that it's coming off the coast of my hometown.
600 meters.
600 meters.
And at 600 meters, we're just under a minute before that expected splashdown. The landing in water is a lot simpler and more reliable. Provides a little bit of margin against unlikely parachute issues. We did have to learn how to make Dragon waterproof as we are splashing down into the ocean. But
SpaceX copies 400 meters. Reminder to brace for splashdown.
Oh, that's a pretty cool view.
Yeah. That's right. Maintaining the vehicle's signature through things like cloud layer and any kind of atmospheric disturbance allows us to maintain visual contact with the vehicle as it's making its final descent towards water landing.
And it's a little foggy, as you can see there.
Yeah, Pacific fog is rolling in.
We've got some very bright lights as Dragon, you can see the ocean there. Dragon is about to touch down in just a few seconds here.
And working their way towards the vehicle are the SpaceX and Axiom support teams that will be present for the next phase of our splashdown coverage today. At this point, we'll be waiting for confirmation of the crew's safe landing, and then we'll move into the phases of this mission, which are really, let's recover the vehicle, let's recover the crew, let's make our assessments, and at that point, we'll be covering.
And we have splashdown of the AX-4 crew back on planet Earth.
Welcome home.
SpaceX Dragon splashdown. We are in Stable 1.
SpaceX copies splashdown and Stable 1. On behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
And thanks for the great ride and the safe trip, and Grace is happy to be back.
We are happy to have you back home safely as well.
Some words between the Corps and our commander, Peggy Whitson, as the AX-4 crew has made it back home, splashed down at
Dragon. SpaceX, for your awareness, SISTI system verifications are in progress. I will report back when recovery personnel are en route.
Dragon.
Yeah, so now you can see a couple fast boats are going to be approaching the Dragon spacecraft. They're going to start with making sure that the spacecraft is safe. They're going to do some sniff checks. They're going to pick up those main parachutes. As Dragon splashed down, the chutes were immediately cut to make sure there's no safety issues there. So we'll pick up those main parachutes up. Once the crew deems that the spacecraft is safe, then our recovery vessel Shannon can begin to approach and begin the recovery process. So we are now eagerly waiting on recovery of our Dragon spacecraft with the AX-4 crew. Dragon has already autonomously completed several steps to save itself following splashdown.
So for those of you just joining us, the return of AX4 has gone smoothly so far, and we just got great confirmation that crew has.
The main parachutes to prevent wind from pulling the spacecraft. Dragon then automatically safes any pyrotechnics still present on the vehicle and may automatically perform additional minor system reconfigurations. The astronauts remain seated and in their suits at this point, but the onboard air conditioning keeps temperatures in check inside the spacecraft, and the communication systems on board remain powered so the crew can continue to communicate.
And as we're watching, SpaceX has 2 fast boats in their recovery fleet, which move very quickly to get to the splashdown point. And those are being followed by Shannon, the main recovery vessel, which will move into position upwind of the spacecraft. The 2 fast boats have very specific roles here in these operations. The first fast boat makes initial contact.
शुभांशु के परिवार वाले समिट में मौजूद हैं। फिलहाल अभी बोलने को तैयार नहीं है क्योंकि
There's a redundant boat to the first. So we'll see a team member, we'll also see a team member rather on a jet ski helping to gather up the now detached parachutes that you mentioned came off. Jesse.
Yeah, and it'll take a little over 10 minutes for the recovery crew to complete their safety checks. Then once
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And as you all know, the chronology of it that would follow, all of them would be in the quarantine for over next 1 week, maybe up to 23rd. And from 24th onwards, they would be having team discussions with the experts from the ISRO. Then for the next 3-4 days that will continue, after which they would be spending time having separate discussions with the representatives of Axiom, representatives of SpaceX, and representatives of NASA separately. That's called.
खूब आगे बढ़े, खूब खुश रहे। अब उतरने वाले हैं ना, आने वापस आने वाले हैं। हाँ।
मैं उनकी चाची सास हूँ।
अच्छा
शुभांशु की।
अच्छा, कितनी खुशी हो रही है मैम?
बहुत खुशी हो रही है, बहुत गर्व महसूस हो रहा है हम लोगों को। और
कामना से उनकी शादी हुई है। हाँ।
जब उतर रहे थे तो कैसा लग रहा था?
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि भाई अब आ गए, अब उतरने वाले हैं एकदम।
आपकी बेटी उनके स्वागत के लिए
हाँ वहीं है, ह्यूस्टन में गए थे लोग। वहाँ बेटा, हमारा बेटा बहू भी अमेरिका में अटलांटा में रहते हैं लोग, तो वो लोग गए थे, उनको अंतरिक्ष में जाने के टाइम वहीं थे सब। फिर वो वापस आएंगे तो आ जाएंगे सब लेके। हाँ
और उसके बाद अब जब भाव
अब इधर आ जाइए ना, अब इधर आ जाइए।
माता पिता जो
पहले बाहर आ जाना। लगाओ उसी में लगाओ। ये काम करा दिया, हम यहाँ खड़े थे, हटा दिया हमको।
क्या कर रहे हैं? पहली बार कैमरा चला रहे हैं?
ठीक है, आराम से सब लोग आपस वाले हो। जी सर, हेलो
के साथ साथ अरे वो यहाँ पर उस केक को
अबे यार वायर उलझ गया। भैया इधर आइए थोड़ा।